All right. Welcome to the Labyrinth. I am your host, Pratham Padav. My guest today is Minal Raj. She is an interior
Yes.
designer. She's an interior designer and social media influencer. She has her own interior design business called Minal Raj Designs. And on her social media page at the Crazy Daisy, she makes content on lifestyle, beauty, makeup, mental health, yoga, spirituality, and various other things. Minal, welcome to the Labyrinth. How are you?
Thank you, Pratham, firstly, for having me here. I first watched your podcast with Dr. Srinivas, and I really loved it. I must say that before we begin, because I think nobody has addressed that issue and that topic. And that's the first, what do I say, interview that I've watched without skipping it for an hour because I found it really interesting. And then you approached me, and I was like, wow, do you really think I can represent me, be on your show? I'm really humbled and honored to be here, honestly.
I mean, obviously, why not? I think I know you from the time we were 15, but this will be the first serious conversation we'll be having. So, uh,
Yeah. I think all our friends who are going to be watching this are going to have the ball of their time. But yeah, we've known each other since 15. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy, actually.
exactly. So, when did you start putting out content on social media?
Content on social media, basically, I just had my private account. Like everyone has a private account, right? So I used to just regularly put up these TikTok videos and stuff on my private account, and everyone was like, dude, why don't you make up your own page? You'll reach out a lot more people. And at that time I had this dream of becoming an actress. So everyone was like, if you have a private account, you're not going to reach out to a lot of people. So start a page and all of that. So that's how it started, like 3 years ago, I think.
And but you have many faces. You're not just a social media influencer. You're also an interior designer. That's your main job. What sparked your interest in interior designing?
Sparked an interest, basically. I was always a very creative person. I was always like into design and art and creative stuff, basically. And my mom is a fashion designer, so initially my dream was fashion designer because she's also a fashion designer. Then my best friend was getting her room renovated, and I saw that change, the before and the after. I saw that change, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. This is something that interested me. And then I was into sketching and all. I used to go to art class. So I asked my art teacher to teach me this 3D, how to draw like 3D stuff. And eventually I just got into it. And then I found out that, oh, there's interior designing course and all that. And that's how I got into it. But yeah, that's the main deal.
So how do you balance then between these two extremes? Because these are two extreme sides. One side you're doing interior designing, on the other side you're dancing in front of the camera. How do you balance between the two jobs?
So until recently, I didn't really feel the what do you call it, that I'm doing two things, or I didn't feel that thing, because like my social media career just picked up a few months ago. I would say 2021 it picked up. Until then I was just putting out what I feel. Even though I was doing brand collaboration, it wasn't paid. So until it becomes paid, it becomes real. You start becoming serious. So what were we talking about?
I was
asking,
how you balance between the two. Yeah.
So lockdown happened, and in the lockdown I felt like a lot of realizations, and a lot of things happened during this lockdown. And that's when I started actually making social media influencing the real, putting an effort to actually make money out of this. I didn't know that I knew people were making money out of it, but I didn't know that I could make money so soon. Like with the 10, I didn't even have a K that time. It was just like some 6,000, 7,000 followers. And until like 3 months ago, I really felt the, what do you call it? I need to balance both my interior and my social media thing. And it's not like, and so social media, I mean, interior design is not like where I get to meet a lot of people. It's a very introverted, not really introverted, but it's your same circle. You meet my carpenters, you meet the clients, and you finish. But in social media influencing, you need to meet a lot more people. So it's actually two different levels altogether, but it's going good. It's like both the things I love to do. It's both are my passion. So I don't right now I like it when I have work. I don't feel like I'm working. It's nice. Like when I get tired of doing the desk job with interior design, I get to do like fun stuff. So it's a nice balance. I'm enjoying it actually.
Most people
I
think
spoke a lot, no?
no, this is what I want.
Okay.
So most people think the only way to succeed in life is by studying hard and getting good marks. But now we have all these different kinds of jobs. Like you're an example, for example, social media influencer. You can't study this in school. As a person who's done things differently, what do you think of studying hard and being the good student?
Oh God, I think you for one know that I am not. I'm the complete opposite of being the bright and good student. And all my friends and my schoolmates who are watching this right now will know that I've always been the most naughtiest and the craziest in school. Like people know me like that from the school days. So I I think I would like to believe that I was lucky that my parents were not like pressurizing me to study or get good marks and be whatever distinction or rank student. It was never like that, luckily. My sister on the other hand is a distinction, a first rank and all of that. So there were times on the way where people compared me, my parents compared me, saying, your sister is like this, why are you like that? But I think they also understood that I'm more on the creative side. I was good at games, I was good at art, and I was always interested on the other side of studies. So coming back to the question, what was the question?
Yeah, some people think that the only way to succeed in life is to get marks.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, or do you go by the exact opposite of it?
The exact opposite. I knew it. I think I knew it since like fifth standard. Like I think I was told by my teachers and my classmates that I'm not good in studies. You're just like this and all that. So it was there in my head. I'm not good in studies. I'm not going to be engineer, doctor, or any of these things. It became so much that my family members would ask me, "What do you want to become?" And I would say, "I want to be housewife." I don't want to do anything. I want to be housewife, because I thought I really didn't know that interior design or I could do anything. I only thought this doctor, engineer, and all these 4 5 other occupations that are there. But somehow I think it was there, like acting was there in the back of my head. So I don't know, things eventually clicked, and I don't think for anybody who's watching, I don't think studies is the only way. If you're interested in studies and you're interested to be a doctor, engineer, or whatever, please go for it. But if you're not interested, don't join this rat race of doing commerce and BBM and MBA and joining an MNC. Please don't do that. Do what you love to do, because then you'll be successful in doing that, because you're putting your heart and soul into doing what you really love. You're not doing something just because others are doing it, right? You'll actually end up enjoying your work that time.
I agree. And all these jobs that you spoke of, like acting or even social media, these are not normal jobs. If people don't look at them as normal jobs, do people ever judge you and tell you, get a normal job?
And that's what, luckily my parents haven't told me that get a normal job. But there have been family members and here and there who are like, telling my parents, like, what is she going to do out of this videos and TikToks that she's doing? But I was lucky that my parents were always, supportive of me. My mom used to always say, no, she gets all these free products home and all, she's doing really well. So they were always very supportive of me. So there have been people, but they're always going to talk no matter what you do.
How do you deal with those nosy people?
I don't deal with them. I honestly don't deal with these people. Like if there is in a circumstance when I have to talk to these people, I will just maybe be cordial with them, or just for the sake of the conversation, I'll be like, yeah, and agree. You know, there are some people who, no matter what you share, they are stuck up on that idea of it, of their life or how life is supposed to be. So you can't change these people. At least that's what I believe, that you can't change them, and I don't want to be rude to them by throwing my ideologies of life at them. So I just smile and just brush it off.
What are
Because
your
I feel like recently,
no,
sorry
no,
to
no, go on,
interrupt,
go on.
but I feel recently my views of life and my thinking and everything has changed over the past few years, I would say. So, which not a lot of people would be open to understanding, or not a lot of people would understand. So, I prefer not to tell people about it. I just like to keep it to myself and move on. But if there's someone, okay, like I think someone like you would be able to understand my journey. So I wouldn't mind talking about that with you. But I wouldn't talk about my journey with everyone, because I think not everyone is going to understand. And through social media, I realized that you shouldn't share everything with everyone. Some things you just need to keep it to yourself.
You said that your life's ideas changed in the past few years. Can you share a few of those ideas?
Um, where do I begin? So I did basically, where it started from is I think generally as a person, I was somebody, I think you too, like I was somebody who believed in all these uh, Illuminati and these aliens, and what do you call these things?
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories, yeah, exactly. Conspiracy theories are my thing. Okay, so I was always I would like to say I was always against the crowd. I wouldn't think, like, if everyone says, I shouldn't talk about corona in general, but if someone says, okay, this is how you should do it, this is the way to do it, I want to question. I want to question why, what makes you say that? I want to know my own research to it. Okay, like, not really a rebel, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just don't want to believe somebody else without doing my own research on it. So,
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know, I mean, you're not a sheep, basically. I mean, you don't follow.
I'm not a sheep. Exactly. I'm not a sheep. I'm not just going to believe anybody who says that this is the right way to do it. No, I want to know why you think it's the right way to do it. So that's when I came across inner engineering. Okay. So now I'm not like a very big Sadhguru follower, or I'm not really a very religious person, or, I'm not a Hindu, I'm a Jain. I wouldn't say I don't really believe in God, but I believe in like energies. I don't like, there is some power. Definitely there is some power, but not like Hindu, Muslim, Christianity. I don't believe there is one main power that is there, and I believe that is universal to all. I don't believe in these religions and idol worships and all of that. And that's when I came across Sadhguru, and I felt like, it's kind of similar, like what his teachings, whatever he was saying was very interesting. Whatever he was talking about, very like mind opening, life, and so much more. I really enjoyed it. So when I did inner engineering, um, I realized a lot of things, like I went through a very bad phase with my mental health, and I realized I never knew why. Why did I go through that? I never knew it. So reading a lot of books in this couple of years, reading books and doing this inner engineering, it made me realize that we are habitual of doing certain things, that we are like who we are today right now is a combination of what our friends have told us, our family, are basically what people have told us about yourself or your fears. Whatever you have is because of something in the past that is there in you, and you look at things a certain way. Like, in a way, I feel like I attracted mental health towards, I mean, depression towards me, because I think, I don't know, I just feel like I was going into that negative trip, like watching too many negative 13 reasons why. I was watching all these negative things, and I kind of feel like I attracted that thing into me. I don't know. I'm just saying, this is my uh, thinking about it. So just trying to break away from all these fears and things that have been put into me, that who I am today is not because somebody told me certain things. I want to figure out who I am individually without any judgment or without anybody telling me who I am or what I am. Like, without this mind and without this body, who am I? You know, so that's what I'm trying. This is my journey from the past year, I would say.
You said attracting depression. Do you think maybe unintentionally you might have attracted people who are negative?
Yeah, definitely. It's like negativity attracts negativity. You know, if like there are so many people on the internet, on my personal profile, who don't like what I post about healing or about whatever I'm talking right now. They don't like it. If I talk about being grateful or any positivity, they don't like it. You know, they say like, oh, what bullshit you're talking about. All this thing doesn't even happen in real, just throwing out hate. So hateful people don't like people who are doing good things. You know, they like to hook on to negative people. They like people who do the same thing as them. So in a way, I was in a very bad state, and I definitely hooked on to a lot of negative people and hooked on to a lot of negative shit, not just people, a lot of things that are negative as well. So yeah.
Yeah, what kind of advice do you have for any upcoming social media influencers?
So I don't want to give the basic advice that I want to give, but I just came across a post that I saw yesterday, and I think it made so much sense that I wanted to talk about it on Instagram or just post a story. But I will say today, stop trying to please a robot. You know, that's what I meant before. Don't go into the depths of this Instagram algorithm and trying to, you know, keeping up with the algorithm and all that. Make content which I consider art. Make art for yourself and make it whatever and whenever you want. Just because people think that you shouldn't be doing this, or you know, this is not your niche. Minal, you know, I have people who tell me, Minal, when I go to your account, there's no niche that I see. You know, there's everything. There's like, you talk about mental health, you talk about passion, you talk about self-help stuff. There's no niche on your page. So I tell them like, yeah, you know, I don't want to limit myself into certain things. Like, this page is about me and I am capable of doing so many things. So, you know, I want to inspire people to do more, like not just this. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, make content for yourself and post whenever you want. Don't, whenever you're free, whatever time you want, post it. If people like it, they will like it. You know, you don't have to post something because someone else told you have to do it, or just because your followers told you, no, you shouldn't do this, you should do this. Don't do that. If you think you like beauty, you do beauty. If you think you like posting dance content, you post dance content. Do what you like, not what Instagram is telling you or not what someone else is telling you. And post content at any time of the day, or instead of posting it, print it out and put it on your wall. This is what someone said. Have some friends over and show them all your cool new wall art. So basically post your art on your you know, that helps me, you know, just putting up what quotes or something that you like, putting it up on your wall and reading it every day kind of helps as a creator. And likes are meaningless, views are meaningless. Don't base your definition of success on these pointless metrics, guys. Don't run after likes, don't run after views. You put out what you want, you will get what you need. Don't compare it, or just don't make your life all about the likes and the views. Don't tie your self-worth to an app that manipulates your emotions in exchange for engagement and profit. I'll repeat that again. Don't tie your self-worth to an app that manipulates your emotions in exchange for engagement and profit. They make more money if you feel like you're not doing enough. And this is not even funny, guys. All these apps, they want you to feel that you're not good enough. They make money and they make profit out of you feeling you're not enough. All these beauty products and everything, how are they making money? By making you feel that you're not happy or good enough with how you have. And yeah, call your parents, make some spaghetti, feed your real friends and make you some real friends out there. Go out in public and talk to people rather than just sitting here and chatting with people. Go out and connect with people and have a good time.
What are your biggest challenges as a social media influencer?
Hateful comments, first of all. Uh, being able to not being able to please everyone. I mean, understanding that you cannot please everybody, and there are people who are not going to like you and your work. And I think just keeping up with these trends and this stupid Instagram algorithm, like luckily I haven't been in that rat race of, okay, the algorithm is changing, we need to change our content, we need to do this. I mean, I'm not about that. I like to post what I want to post, and I post at what time I feel is right. I don't want to run behind the algorithm and all that shit. So luckily, when I stepped into social media, I was in a mentally better place, so it has not affected me as much. But definitely all these hateful people on the internet, and just keeping up with the Instagram trends and all of that has been the challenging thing so far.
Have there been any social media influencers who have inspired you?
Of course, every influencer inspires me. I think looking at content from every influencer feels like, wow, they're so good, and I should be that way someday. Everybody inspires me that way.
If someone leaves a hateful comment continuously, how would you treat them? Would you argue with them, or would you just ignore them?
Block. Block. Bye. That's it. I don't go to interact with them at all. I just like, bye.
And does any of this affect your mental health?
Initially, yes, it used to. Initially, I was really bothered about, why are they commenting like this? Like, what am I doing wrong, or something wrong with me? Maybe I should stop posting like this. I used to think that way. And but I just kind of realized that a lot of just listening to all these influencer stories, the kind of shit that they have to, even now, like, you just go to one influencer's page and you just see any picture of theirs, there are mixed reactions. There are positive comments, there are people who are giving like negative comments, who are giving like what they think is criticism according to them. I mean, if you want to give a criticism, why don't you just message them, or DM them? Why do you want to comment and put someone's effort? And I mean, a lot of effort goes into putting out content, creating these videos, and a lot of effort goes into it, which people don't realize. I guess it's like very easy for them to go on the comment section and just type some bullshit, and it's so easy to do that. If they say it directly on my face, I would really appreciate them, but obviously they don't have the balls to do that. They prefer to comment on Instagram, so they don't deserve my attention. Block.
Yeah, screw them. But enough of this. These haters. Let's get into a more serious topic, which is mental health. Have you been through any? I mean, you obviously been through some. What mental health challenges have you been through?
I think I'll start about talking about my mental health journey, what exactly I've been through and what are my problems. So I believe that since 18, I think I started feeling, a little low, a little behaving differently than normally, like how I normally do. I started behaving a little differently, I think, when I was 18. But I think when I turned around 21, I moved out of home and I went to Bangalore. And that was like a big change for me, right? So I had fun. The first year was fun for me. And then later on, I had to get to work. I joined my workplace, and I had never worked before. You know me, how an easygoing person I am. I've never like done all the serious stuff of going to office and all that. So when I joined office and I had to do this 9 to 5 job, I think like reality started hitting me. Like, I never had time for my friends, never had time for me. But in that process, I was learning a lot. Like, in terms to interior design, I was learning a lot, but I was losing myself in that 9 to 5 and all of that. And I what do I say? I started distancing myself from my friends. I'm telling you what I did differently. Okay, so initially I didn't know something was wrong with me, but I felt it when I started acting differently. So when I say differently, I mean to say I stopped talking to my friends. I stopped doing the things that I love. I used to love partying, but I hated the sound of music. I was afraid to cross the road, and I would cry like at the drop of a needle. Like anything would just make me cry easily, and I used to do like a lot of different weird stuff. Okay, so that's when luckily I had my family was into my. I had an aunt who was into like mental health. She was a therapist, and a lot of my people in my family, like my cousins and all of that, were having issues related to mental health. So I was aware of something called as depression or something called as anxiety. I was aware of it. So I thought maybe I should just talk to my aunt and tell her what's going on. And I told her about so and so situation, whatever I'm facing. So she gave me a doctor's number that I should go and visit. So a couple of sessions later, I was diagnosed with depression and high levels of anxiety. And it didn't come as a shocker to me. Luckily, like a lot of people take time to accept that, that something is wrong with them mentally or something. Luckily, I didn't have that. The thought of being like mentally ill and all was never there. I was like, okay, it's okay to be mentally ill. I was always like that. So yeah, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And couple of years after, through therapy and all of that, my doctors realized that my condition is called BPD. It's called borderline personality disorder. Now I don't want to get into the depths of it, but I spent a lot of time indulging myself in oh, I'm depressed, oh, I'm a patient, oh, I have anxiety. Like if anybody tells me anything, I would make it about my mental health. I'll be like, no, don't you know that I'm going through something like that? How could you do that? Like I spent a lot of years just treating myself as a patient, that rather than focusing on the solution of how I can get better. I thought, this is my life. I have depression, I have anxiety, and one day magically everything is going to be better, is what I thought. And there were obviously years of therapy, years of medication and all of that. It definitely helped me to an extent, but I think now I realize that it's only like me who can help myself. Like you can't really, this is my lookout, that I didn't want to depend on medication alone my entire life. I wanted to fix internally whatever the problem was. I wanted to fix it internally and just go on to it. I didn't want BPD, or I didn't want anxiety or depression to define who I am. That doesn't define who I am. Like how I said, I don't want my mind or body or all these things that people say. I don't want any of that to define me. It's like a new start, a new journey to myself. That's what I'm working ahead. But coming back to your question, that is what challenges I faced, right?
Yeah.
Faced a lot of challenges. I faced like, oh God, like numerous challenges, like people judging you mainly, like when I was such a party going person, but I hated going to parties at a point. And then people would look at me and be like, what, man, you're depressed or what the fuck is wrong with you, you're depressed or what? And I used to feel like, I just didn't like going out because I had to face these people. And not able to cross the road, not being able to do what you love, not being able to read a book or even a newspaper or even a caption on Instagram, because there are like zillions of thoughts in your head every minute. There are zillions of thoughts, like I can't even tell you. And I'm not even able to read a text of my friends, a long text I'm not able to read, because there are thousands of thoughts. Like your mind is not functioning. And a lot of anger issues, fighting with your family, fighting with people you love, like is just a very messed up phase, which I don't think anybody should go through. So mental illness itself is the biggest challenge. So challenges that I face are like innumerable. I can't even count.
Then how did you cope up with your mental health issues?
Like I said, initially medication, therapy, mandala. So if you follow me, you would know that I do something called as coloring mandalas. Okay, and this is something that I learned in therapy to control my anxiety, is like coloring mandalas. That helped me. Yoga and meditation, oh man, I can't stress on this enough, how it helped me. It taught me to be so much more peaceful and take every minute as it comes. That's what yoga and meditation taught me. And apart from that, just surrounding yourself with positive people, following positive people, listening to positive things rather than negative things. Like I used to watch shows like 13 Reasons Why and all that, right? So subconsciously those thoughts are, maybe you are not realizing, but subconsciously those thoughts are being planted in your head. So I just stopped all watching all this negative shit. I just started watching positive things, be surrounding myself with positive people, having positive conversations, not indulging in like even gossip and all that. I don't say I don't gossip, I do, but with my closest friends, not like with, how Mangalore is. It's like people meet and they only gossip about everybody.
Yeah.
So I still surround myself with such people, but I just like to listen. I don't talk, I just listen.
Yeah, you said that yoga and spirituality and meditation has helped you a lot. And earlier you spoke about Sadhguru. What kind of meditation are you talking about? Have you heard of Shambhavi Mudra?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, right? Shambhavi Mahamu. You're also a Sadhguru follower?
No, I know, but one of my previous guests had also spoken about Shambhavi Mudra, and then when I researched about it, I'm like, okay, this is even Sadhguru has some course on Shambhavi Mudra.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought Shambhavi Mahamudra is only by Sadhguru. I didn't know that there were other forms of it.
It's quite old. It's the thing where you concentrate on your pineal and okay.
What was your question? On how yoga and spirituality helped me?
Yeah, how has it helped you? And no, there are more questions that I want to ask. It's all connected in a way. Are you a spiritual person, and did your spirituality help you in what you're going through?
So just for my understanding, I haven't really read about what being a spiritual person is or who is a spiritual person. But I think people who like focus on energies or something like that, is that what you call a spiritual person?
I'm not sure because spirituality is such a subjective concept. Anyone can wake up one day and say that they're a spiritual person. If you think that you're a spiritual person, then you are, I guess. That's enough.
I still don't know what my process is called. I'm still trying to figure it all out. But I think that's what they call people like me. I think that's what they call it, spirituality, because it's all about energies and vibes and vibrations and all of that. It's like focusing on your inner self, like fixing your inner self than focusing on the outward. I think all of this self-love, inner peace, and all of that, I think that's what you call spirituality. And I think if that's what you call spirituality, then yes, I am a spiritual person. And I think I got into this path, like I said, a year ago when I started doing inner engineering, and it has just completely changed my life. And it has nothing to do with religion. Like even a Hindu, a Sikh or a Jain or a Muslim or a Christian, anybody can do this course. It's nothing related to religion at all. It's just about life in general, and it's about science, I would say. I think spirituality is about science as well. It's about your body, understanding your body, understanding why you do things the way you do, understanding why you are mechanized into being what you are today, understanding all of that. So it has really opened my mind to a lot of things like, I limited myself into believing that, I can achieve this, or I can't go more above than this. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But now my mind is, open to an extent where I think that I can do anything that I like. If I put my mind into it, I can achieve whatever I like manifesting and, doing all these things. It has really helped me. It has given me hope, because I'm somebody who doesn't believe in God, right? Like I'm not somebody who go every day. I used to be that person, every Monday going to Kadri temple and praying to Shiva. Thursdays this and doing all that. I used to do all of that. Not so much, because I'm not a Hindu, I'm a Jain. So I don't really visit a lot of temples and all. We go to our basadis. So I was born into, believing in energies, because Jainism is like that. Like it is, our God is sitting in the yoga position, So after this year, I started understanding, learning more about my religion, why Jainism, or my God, why we worship him. It's because he attained like moksha, like, I'm not talking too much that people
Why?
may not be able to.
Why do you stop yourself all of a sudden? Please continue.
Okay, so because I told you, like, not everyone will be able to understand what I talk, so I don't want people to think
No.
like she's a crazy. Anyways, I'm a crazy person, crazy Daisy. But yeah,
No, I want to know why did you were talking about Jainism and Basadis. Now please continue. You have to finish the story now.
So basically, like Shiva and my Buddha and my God, they all meditated and they attained like moksha. What do you say? What do you call moksha?
Nirvana.
Nirvana is also too much. They attained something. Okay.
Where you just get freed from who you are.
Correct. So I forgot why I'm talking about this.
I asked you if you're a spiritual person, and then you went into how your belief system.
So before I used to not understand what, like I was told that this is God and you're supposed to pray to this God. So again, you know, the rebel in me, why should I pray in God? What is this God? You know, God doesn't exist and all of that. I started doing my own research about it, and then idol worship and all of that. And there is nothing like, I do not disrespect anybody. Like if you believe in God and if you are a religious person, great. If it helps you, then great. Like as long as it helps you. It didn't help me, to be honest. I felt like, you know, when I went through that phase, I prayed so much to God, but I never got any help. So that's what made me realize, like, if God really existed, why didn't he help me? Like, that's what kind of evoked me, I would say. And yeah, so all these, like Shiva, Buddha and Mahavira, all of these people attain moksha through meditation. So, you know, I kind of got idealized, or I really liked their teachings on life, and like they left all their worldly pleasures. All these people had everything in life. Mahavira and Buddha were like kings and prince of a big palace. They had everything in life, but they left everything just to go and meditate. You know, that's the kind of, I think, spirituality I'm talking about, like going into depths, like attaining inner peace or inner self-love that they call. Like if you attain that inner peace or that self-love, nothing else will matter. Like I have been through a time in my life that a simplest thing, like maybe a simplest thing around me would bother me so much. And I would think that everyone else around it needed to change and not me. I feel like if you guys treat me correctly, then I will not be like this. But over the years, I realized that you cannot change other people. But if there's something that you can change, that then it is this, right? So just building on myself, so none of that bullshit around me will affect me anymore, you know, trying to attain that inner peace. So that's how yoga and spirituality help. Yoga, another way, like I said, it helped me to take every minute as it comes, you know, get every moment as it comes, instead of, like, anxiety is like you're worrying so much about the future, worrying what will happen next 5 minutes, worrying what will happen next 15 minutes. I spent like 10 years of my life just worrying, you know, not even living in the present, just worrying what will happen, what will happen. So I just feel like I wasted a lot of my entire like teenage years and my childhood on just, you know, if I had realized this then, I would have been on another level. But that's okay, you know, life is all about learning endlessly. So I'm glad I am here today, alive, talking to you, Pratham.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm talking too much, yeah, guys. Whoever, I'm sorry for frying your brains.
No, this is actually very interesting. I don't know why you keep apologizing. You need to do more yoga.
I've never spoken about this on any channel or any on my Instagram. I speak about it in bits, but whatever I'm talking about, I feel like people are not going to understand or relate, or they're going to think I'm crazy. But
you would be
if they understand
surprised.
it,
You would be surprised, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now I know that you live in Mangalore and Bangalore simultaneously. For a few days you live here in Mangalore, for a few days in Bangalore. How is Bangalore life compared to Mangalore life?
Well, if I should be completely real and raw, which I want to be, I would say that, see, I am from Mangalore, and Mangalore is a very small city where everybody knows everyone. Okay, you may not know there is a guy called Pratham. You may not have met him, but you know through someone else that there is this Pratham and he lives here, and you know his history. So I think, but in Bangalore, there are thousands of people that you meet every day who are not really interested. Maybe they're interested on how you could benefit them, but they're not really interested on your life or who your family is or who you really are, because everybody is a big person in Bangalore. Whereas in Mangalore, everyone thinks they're a big person just by living in this small bubble here. They think they're only great, but okay, I mean, to each their own. And I think without any, what do you say? I think even most Mangaloreans will admit that here growth is less. I mean, for a person to grow in terms of business or anything, it's not really possible in Mangalore, or maybe it is, or we still haven't seeked it. I don't know. But I think a lot of small-minded people in Mangalore, which is really holding back what the city can really offer. I think the city is so beautiful and it can offer so much more, but just because of people not being able to open their mind up, it's withholding a lot. That's what I feel in Mangalore. But in Bangalore, it's a great city to grow, great city to make money, great city to connect with a lot of people and gain inspiration. What I feel like in Mangalore, when I go out, I meet the same people, we talk about the same thing. We do the same thing all the time. But in Bangalore, I meet so many people and we talk about so many things. I get to hear about each one's story, what they are doing. They come up with, different ideas. They're working on, people who are like 18, 19. They have dreams and they have their own companies and they're working, doing so much at their age. When we were 18, 19, what the hell were we doing, man? In Bangalore, we weren't doing anything. So, it's really inspiring to meet these people in Bangalore. I feel like I meet a lot of people and I really get inspired to do more, actually. In Mangalore, I feel like, I have friends here who I can never find in any part of the world. I will not find that. Like in Mangalore, the friends that I have, they love you for who you are. They don't love you because you have this house or this car or because you come from a certain family. I feel Bangalore is like that, they are a little money minded, and only if you have money, they will want to come and talk to you. Otherwise, they're like, hey, who are you? Or something like that. Like, I feel I have found my friends or people who I would love to grow old with. My friends are like my family here in Mangalore, and the city is like my life. But only thing is, I wish people would be a little more open-minded here. That's it. But otherwise, I love my city. But Bangalore, I love the weather, man. I love your parties, and I love you.
Do you miss your Agnes friends?
Oh God. Agnes is a long story to talk about. I have a lot of friends from Agnes. Yeah, and whom I'm still in touch with. Yeah, I don't. Some of them whom I don't talk to, I don't really miss them.
When we were kids or teenagers, everyone didn't have a smartphone or social media, but today's kids are addicted to their smartphones. This might give them more opportunities, but it also might spoil their mental health, their privacy. Did we have a better childhood, or do you think kids today have a better childhood?
Of course, we had a better childhood, and I think our parents had a better childhood than us. I think the current generation is really, really messed up, to be honest. I think to what research I have done, I think the main cause of all these mental illness is technology. When I say technology, I mean that, everybody is on social media. Kids are on Snapchat these days, man. 10-year-old kids are on Snapchat and they are using filters. And they already have this thing subconsciously in your mind that your face is not good the way it is. You need to use a filter to look good, to get the likes, and to get a person to like you. You need to do all these things. And you see so many people on the internet that are only showing their best life. They are only showing what they eat or where they are living or what holidays they're going to. even me, nobody shows the time when you're struggling. Nobody shows, the real deal. Nobody shows you on the internet, and people think that this is the life that they show on they think this is the life. They think everybody is happy. They think everybody, even I have been in that state, I've been sad and I'm just scrolling on Instagram and I feel like, dude, everybody is happy. Only I am sulking like this. I am feeling bad. You feel like only you're the one who's feeling. You feel not content with your own life and your own self because you're seeing everybody else. But people don't realize that you sitting just watching, you have so many things that you need to be grateful for. Like, I am grateful for having this life or just being alive here today. I mean, I'm definitely inspired or happy to see all these people on the internet doing all those things, but I'm very happy with my life. I will reach wherever they are in coming days, like, working hard towards my dream. But we need to realize that we need to be happy with where we are today. Technology has really messed us all up and going to mess us up. It's definitely made our work easier, but I mean, I think we're just going downhill. We're just attracting a lot of mental health. I think mental health is honestly the next pandemic, which people really need to talk and open up about. Just because of Corona, just because of this lockdown, so many people have lost their jobs, no money, not able to live. How many people have committed suicide and facing mental health issues, but nobody really talks about it. Media is only talking about Corona, wear your mask, do this, do that. Man, talk about the real issues here. So yeah, I think technology is really messed us up that way. Even news, how can you even believe the news these days? God, that whole, the lockdown, first lockdown about that Sushant Singh, I went mad thinking that it's a murder and all those crazy things that this media came up with. And recently I met somebody from my friend who works for a media industry, and she explained the whole Sushant thing to me, and it just blew my mind. Like, what the hell are we watching on TV, dude? They're just utilizing this fear, using this fear that we have for their benefit. So I think it's really messed up. Had I had an option, I would wish to quit all social media. Had I not been making money on social media and getting the exposure that I am, I would have quit social media and just lived my life.
Then that would only be my next question. If there were no social media channels at all, if there were no smartphones on this planet, what would you be doing?
If there was no social media platform, or if there wasn't anything, what I would love to do, I can tell you. What I would be doing, I don't know. But I think I would love to have a farm and just plant my own, vegetables, grow my own food, do my yoga and meditation in the farm, and just enjoy life and moment as it comes with my family and my friends around me. Not these fake people on the internet and whom you think they are your friends. All that bullshit wouldn't be there, So I think that's what I would be doing. And that's what I want to do, but I don't know if I can.
You never know. 10 years from now.
Yeah, 10 years from now, I have a lot to achieve. For that, I can't quit social media.
Are you happy with what you're doing right now?
Like in terms of on the internet?
Like on everything in your life, In
my life, yeah, I'm very happy with who I am today, with who I am surrounded by, what I'm doing. I'm very content right now at this moment. If I should tell you, I'm very happy with what I'm doing as an interior designer, as an influencer, as a person, as a human being, as a daughter, as a girlfriend, as a friend. In every way, I think I'm very content with where I am today, and I'm very grateful for it to reach where I am. 10 years down the line, I had imagined, like, when will I find happiness, or when will I truly be happy? I used to think. And now doing this interview with you, like, trust me, there were times like this coffee with Karan and watching all these interviews, they'll ask all these questions, and I would answer. I would know the answer the questions from here. And today, to be on live with you, Pratham, is really something that I have manifested years ago, wanting to be interviewed, honestly. So I'm really happy and I'm really grateful to be here today. And it's because of me, it's because of my hard work, it's because of me.
Yep. I think you manifested all of these things.
Yeah. And I wish schools, colleges, and all these things taught us about this. It's not just always about studies. It's not always about all this history, science, maths. Where the hell are we using sine theta, cos theta, permutation, commutation? Where am I using? Like, I wish they taught us like life skills, how to deal with life after stepping into the real world, how to deal with it. You don't even know what to do after, how to go to a bank also, I don't know. What to do in the bank also, I don't know. Nobody taught us all these things, we learned it ourselves. So I wish schools taught us more about how to work towards our goal, to do what you love, not to just do what everyone else is doing. So I feel so many people are just suffering because, they're in a job. They're in a job that is giving them the money that they want. They're stuck. They can't leave the job because they're getting the security, but they're not really happy doing what they are. That eventually you're going to a downfall. Your mental health is going to screw you up. It's a long process. This healing, it didn't come to me easy. It took me like 10 years to reach where I am. So it's hard. Like, not everyone comes out of it like this. Some people just give up, so yeah.
Then finally, what does the future hold for Minal Raj?
Future holds a lot for me, man. I mean, it's limitless. I have not limited myself into thinking this is what my future holds. I think my future is like limitless. I have a lot of dreams, and my dreams are going to change as time comes. So I wish the future holds to bring in whatever I wish and desire, to help a lot of people. Mainly, my main thing in life is I really want to be able to help a lot of people mentally or in any way. Like, some people just call me to ask me, some Instagram related stuff, like, like people who want to become an influencer, but they don't know how. They are like, we tried talking to other people, but they don't want to help or don't want to tell your secrets. I'm not like that. I'm transparent. Whatever I am, I will give out every knowledge that I know I'm ready to give out. Use it to your full potential and do what makes you happy. I'm not going to think like, oh, if I tell you my secret, this girl is going to do better than me. No, please, everyone do what you want. Reach out to me if you have anything that you want to talk about in terms of mental health, in terms of anything that you think that I may know. Please message me on Instagram. If maybe you guys can't reach me on Instagram, email me. I will reply to everyone. My main aim in life and my purpose in life is to really be able to help people, because helping people makes me happy and content. So yeah, in future I definitely want to do something big, like what Deepika Padukone has done, like that Live, Love, Laugh Foundation, to help something related to mental health. That's kind of my dream. I want to do something like that, like an organization to help people in mental health, or just talk about mental health openly, and just making people realize that it's okay to not be okay. And the more you talk about it, the more it's going to be like people be able to relate. Or if I keep quiet that I'm suffering, but I don't want to tell, oh my god, she's going to think I'm mad or anything. That's what people think. That's when people shut up and don't want to talk about their problems. But if everybody talks about their problems and tell that, hey, I'm not okay, I need a friend, then people will also be okay to tell you that I'm not feeling okay today, I need a friend. Right now we are all very happy to share our happiness and our success, but we don't share our problems. I think that's where we lack. If we talk about our problems and just be open about it, we would not be suffering like how we are today.
Thank you, Minal, for being so transparent with me. This was a brilliant conversation. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. I hope people understand. And if you don't understand, I wish someday you do. And yeah, that's about it. But thank you, Pratham. I think this is an amazing thing what you're doing. Your podcast, you're getting people to the talent, like you're getting people like me to connect to a lot more people. I didn't know about Dr. Srinivas and his teachings until I saw it on your channel, and I'm really glad for that. And you're doing great. And I just want to tell you, do what makes you happy. You don't have to go into this rat race of doing what everyone else is doing. You do you, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Minal.